Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. We've been interrogating the deserter, who we are now pretty sure is our murderer, and we've just noticed something in the reeds.
Required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is again, to your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other, but then, in the middle of it,
What?
something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for three on the boat.
Hi, Kim.
What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
The hell is in the reeds? Oh my god. It's the fucking Insulindian Phasmid. And it's bloody enormous.
A delicate
giant
tangle of
reed
arms
insect.
and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Blink.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The freaking giant stick insect?
There's nothing there.
It looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is, I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, do you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
4 simple words.
Right.
Thank you. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
I don't think it was gonna fit in the traps the guy made. It's a little big.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, and takes a step toward the giant arthropod. It's pretty large.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Kim, it's the Insulindian Phasmid.
It is.
Lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
Flash is loud, Kim. It won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
Continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
Stop fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
I have the pheromone. I can approach
I
it.
don't think the pheromone will do anything.
His whisper turns to a skeptical hiss, but he's stopped now.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
But I saved, so, passed.
Slowly, breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
I am Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish. The faintest smell like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foam.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
Lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
I exist.
Holy shit, it talks. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
It's sadness in my heart, I think.
For me, it is not like that. I have states, not the emotions. For example, I experience excitement at unexpected sugar rewards. But that is not important. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon by what?
shapes of plants and animals,
Not just humans.
and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never ache.
I'm glad to be me. An incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It's very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you.
Thanks, Phasmid.
And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only weaken his deterioration.
You're destroying him somehow?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Okay, it's very hard to say if we're actually talking to the Phasmid, or if, you know, we're just insane, considering the enormous number of voices in our head. But I can buy that, okay, if this thing's going undetected, then it must have some way of fucking with people's heads. Either, like, actually magic psychically, or just by some sort of mass chemical release or something. And being around it too long might be messing with the killer. He's clearly not very sane. Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even a water lily.
And all we can do is beat our fists against it day after day? With no answer?
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
How nice.
Wait,
So you look like you read and you eat reeds?
Yes, they don't mind.
You ever accidentally eat another reed, Phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
It's okay, I'm sure it was an accident. What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years,
350
I have
years.
hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and officials of the occupation. Even the Seminoles Islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Well, that's fairly insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile senior nerve system ominously new to the planet.
Fair enough.
The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
The pale is result of humans?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
Ow!
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Worse? Because that was pretty bad.
instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Huh. Well, a tree that eats thoughts will probably evolve or something then, I mean, surely. This thing seems to read thoughts, maybe it can eat thoughts. Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
But I want to blink and undo 12 billion years of matter expansion. Well, I will be extra careful not to blink for you, sticky insect, don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh. and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure right now?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
But I believe I'm having some sort of vision about the final fate of mankind and the universe.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
No. Actually, sort of.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
Probably a good idea. Well, Insulindian Phasmid, I have to say goodbye now. I'm afraid I'm out of thoughts. So that's that.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
For the working class? I will. I'll do it, Phasmid.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Oh my. Thank you, 3-meter stick insect.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem on either side of the insect's small head.
It's smelling me, Kim.
Maybe it is real. The pheromone.
The lieutenant's mouth is agape.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The
This would be a
insect's
bit of a
head
shocker,
is
yeah.
crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Okay, Kim. Do it.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Spectacular
The
photograph.
Phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you. The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature's shape develops onto photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds in the sky, and you as a shadow before it.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning! A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor. Some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have time to think. The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
I refuse to lick the Phasmid juice. Back off.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Back away.
As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
That's impressive. That's pretty epic.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. Walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only... I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
I don't know.
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Now, without the Phasmid, if it was influencing his mind somehow, whether through pheromones or whatever else, he might be pretty messed up now. Oh. The bloody helmet. Finally. A little late to give the last piece of armor, but there it is. And the scope of the rifle. Needed both
Bravo.
those things.
You've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown.
Well, at least the collector impulse has been satisfied.
Indeed, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic.
At least now I am truly invincible. And Clausius' passport. Why did this thing take Clausius' passport? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna see what the hell Clausius' passport says. A common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt-action 446 caliber, using an older-style non-dotted range-finding reticle. Seaweed is still stuck on the lens, and it suffered water damage from its time in the Phasmid's dowry. Army surplus scarf. Found training shirt. Fairweather helmet. Monstrous-looking bug-eyed ceramic helmet in the Phasmid's nest. Still has some reeds sticking out of it. Smells of seawater, but wearable if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. And what does this say? A well-traveled passport with visas stamped in it, issued by the Republic of Orania.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
That is not the same.
Classius hidden documents. From the MT boy.
Aye.
It's Clausia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow.
Was this doing the Phasmid
Maybe
nest?
our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classius, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
No, the Phasmid did it, and I sensed it do so, actually, with my weird supernatural senses.
Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
Doesn't have much choice at
I
this
can
point.
see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
A curious octopus
It's in the
would do
nest.
something similar, or even a cuttlefish.
Perhaps it was curious, like an octopus.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
But it says Katarzyna Alasia.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Well, that's not what it says.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Clausia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Well, I mean, maybe this is her real passport, 'cause... Or she lied to us.
No, she lied to us.
Yeah.
Her so-called real name was not her real name. Somehow she's managed to lie to us about that too.
What's her real name?
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alasia, or Clasia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective.
I'm inclined to agree.
Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her. She is no longer in the city of Revachol.
Yeah, I don't think she's a threat, really. she's just... I mean, her story was essentially true, I think. I'm pretty sure she was a spy, but she's on the run and cut off now, and she's just doing a shit ton of drugs and having sex and generally escapism until she eventually gets caught up by and murdered. Caught up with and murdered. Oh boy, more skill points. Don't really have. I don't think there's much use for it. I'm pretty sure we're pretty much done here, but let's talk to Mr. Dross.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the Phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking. A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem. Doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to him?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the Phasmid, Kim.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Maybe there's something hormonal in his relationship to the Phasmid.
You mean pheromonum?
I don't know about the lust bit.
He does not look hormonal anymore. Motionless. His plastic cape flaps in a sudden gust of wind.
You couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds.
It could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
He touches the man's
No
shoulder.
response.
Maybe this is how the Phasmid has stayed hidden all these years?
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yeah, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
I talked to the Phasmid. It said it's destroying
You
him.
should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Maybe, but it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation's a side
A
effect.
valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
It's just a 3-meter tall stick insect. I'm sure it probably ate leaves. It did eat leaves. It wouldn't have eaten me, probably. It's been here a long time. Who knows how much of it in the company of the Phasmid. It said it was... Well... I don't know if it was actually implying that it was 350 years old, or just that it has some kind of communal memory, because it clones itself, and that it knows that humans got here 350 years ago, and it's been watching us ever since then. I think it's the latter. An individual could be that old, but I think what it was implying by 350 years was the latter.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
Yeah.
No one would believe you without it.
Found some things in the nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Got the scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr.
He
Dross?
turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid.
Lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
On his
No
passport.
reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirits.
I see.
He hears us. The spirit?
Probably the fast
No
one.
reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Helmet?
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
I'm gonna let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength is all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight, Dross.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Agreed. I think we're about done with the game, guys. I mean, maybe I'm grossly wrong, but I don't think so. Which is good, because it's 2:45 a.m. where I am. But that's right. This might be the longest stream I've ever done. This is 5 hours now.
The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
Let's go.
We are done here.
He says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Thanks for watching, detectives. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And have a nice day, detectives. This is Sea Lord Agenda, signing off.